Welcome to Crypto Bubble, the channel where we dive together into the exciting universe of cryptocurrencies. Hey crypto enthusiasts, it's Roger, your guide in the heart of the crypto bubble. Before we delve into the thrilling world of the latest news and analyses, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay tuned, and smash that little blue thumb if you're ready to explore the depths of the market with me. It's going to be an epic adventure, so get ready, sit back, and join me on this journey to the moon. The Crypto News Channel. Today, we're going to talk about the latest Ethereum update, which isn't going as well as expected. We'll also talk about Bitcoin with the ETF. Any news on this ETF? We're going to talk about airdrop. I'll also talk about hacking and a new feature on MetaMask. In short, there's a lot going on today, with the best crypto news every day. Today, cryptocurrencies are down. BTC 42,650 -1 and 0.3%, and RTWO 1,536 -1 and 0.5%. But we have Solana, for example, which is up 4%, and even other cryptos such as Link, which are up even more. So first of all, I'd like to talk about Bitcoin and the Bitcoin Spot ETFs, which have been launched, and which have been a great success compared with the previous ETFs launched over the whole of 2023. If you take the first 3 days of the launch of the various spot Bitcoin ETFs, that's more than 3 times the trading volume of the 500 ETFs launched in 2023 combined over their first 3 days. In short, it's huge. Just to show you how huge it is in terms of volume, with the spot Bitcoin ETF, 1.8 billion volumes in 3 days, that's really a lot. So well done. Well done to the people who launched the spot Bitcoin, and to the SEC, which had no choice but to validate these spot Bitcoin ETFs. And now we're hoping that they'll grow even more and reach hundreds of billions of Bitcoin under management. For example, let's not forget the ETF. Well, it doesn't manage a huge amount of Bitcoin. The total capitalization of Bitcoin is 834 billion, so it's not too far-fetched to reach, I don't know, 100 billion managed in ETFs in 3 or 4 years' time. I wanted to talk to you about CoinHouse. It's a French crypto platform that I've known for a very long time, and it's the first to be registered with the AMF. That shows how serious they are. It's a channel partner, and the reason I'm talking to you about it today is that they've just recently announced a big change. They're lowering their fees. CoinHouse, for those who don't know, it's a historic player. It was founded in 2014 by Eric Larchevque. Back then, it was called La Maison du Bitcoin. You must also have seen Eric Larchevque on the show Qui veut très mon associé, and who also has a reputable crypto platform with 100% French customer service. They're responsive. They're powerful, so that also brings credibility. The platform is really easy to get to grips with. Honestly, in terms of user experience, it's top-notch. They provide support for users. If you have any questions about security or anything else, they can help you. That's handy if you're a beginner or intermediate and want to get a new platform. So to get back to their price list, I'll show you the details on the screen. The important thing to remember is that it's less expensive than before, while maintaining the same quality of service. So if you're interested in investing in crypto on a French regulated platform, you'll get the same support. Go ahead, I'll put my affiliate link in the description so you can sign up and support the channel at the same time. Thanks in advance. Now let's talk about Ancona's latest Ethereum update, the one that's coming, which should enable even lower transaction fees on Level 2 solutions. Well, it was the launch of Ancona on Gosselies, which is one of Ethereum's test networks. The upgrade was coordinated. It had already been tested before being tested on Goerli quite a few times, and in fact it didn't go well. On Goerli, there was no finalization. There was even a chain split, so several blockchains existed in parallel, whereas we're supposed to have just one. Let's just say it was clearly a bug that hadn't been detected beforehand. It's been corrected. The problem was a priori with the Prism nodes. They explained why they didn't find it in the test phases beforehand. That's also why they had test networks such as Goerli, which were closer to the reality of Ethereum. And in any case, there are still several test networks to come. We're talking about supporting each other, and then Elitsky. So there are at least 2 main test networks coming up. We still have some, shall we say, strong ones that are taking place little by little throughout, shall we say, without being on a main test network to test how it works. So there's still a long way to go for this Ancona update to reach the main network. And clearly not good news, what I'm about to tell you, that it bugged on the Goerli network. We'd have preferred it to have been completely, shall we say, transparent and to have worked, shall we say, very well on Goerli too. Unfortunately that's not the case, but that's why test networks exist. That's why they do all these tests. It went well for demerges. They had done it several times and in the end it was clear that it had worked well and bordered on merge. Ethereum developers have been criticized for taking too many precautions and slowing down the arrival of 2 merges, when it could have happened much sooner if they'd been very careful about security, testing and so on. I think it's better to do that than to go too fast. We're dealing with a blockchain that manages billions and billions of dollars, so it's good that they're taking more time, and it's good that they're correcting the problems in the hope that there will be fewer of them in the next phases of testing, because the more problems there are, it still means that there's the potential for more to come. Whereas when there are fewer problems, fewer bugs found, it potentially means that there are more bugs and that everything has been corrected. So there you go. I'm not too worried about it, but I wanted to talk to you about it anyway, because it's still technically something that needs to be corrected on Ethereum. Next, let's talk about airdrop with AltLayer. This is a solution linked to the rest. It's a decentralized protocol for rollup that provides certain OLAP services with a quick endpoint. In short, quite a lot for the various. Rollup is based on hidden layer and layer, the protocol I've been talking about a lot. Honestly, it's something I really like. I've been talking about stacking in layer for a while, and now they've announced that there's going to be an airdrop. The snapshot has been taken. People eligible for the airdrop, it was taken there on January 17. Those eligible are some stackers and layers, some Celestia stackers too. We don't yet have the details for Celestia and layer, but that's coming soon. So there you have it again. There's a lot of airdrop to be had with all this. This is something I've talked about several times. I've told you in my training course, there's a dedicated video on the subject, how I prepare for layer. But I think by the time you watch that video, it'll already be over. It closes in 2 hours 45 minutes. There's also the coaching session in the training. Anyway, I've told you enough about it. The link is in the description. But really, I can't wait to see what they're going to do, what they're going to give simply to the people who are on Regenerate, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of other projects doing airdrop to the staker on the air towards that. Native staking on air will reopen at the end of January, but there are other solutions, of course, if you want to start staking right away. Next, let's talk about piracy with Socket and Bunny. Let's say it's Bunny. It's a bridge that's very widely used to go from one blockchain to another that's been hacked. We're talking about $3.3 million having been hacked. That's a lot of money. Socket is an interoperability service. Bunny is the bridge I told you about. So, the piracy actually concerns the people who gave approvals and authorizations to Socket's smart contract. Bunny manipulated a lot of their funds. I keep telling you that every time you give an approval, you have to give only the amount needed to complete the trade, because otherwise, if the contract to which you've given an unlimited approval gets hacked, even if you're disconnected, even if it's on Ledger, your cryptos, if you've already given the authorization, well, the smart contract can take all your cryptos in the event of hacking or malicious acts by a user. So once again, an illustration, really, in the event of theft, set limits, and of course there will be more guest charges, but that's the price, shall we say, of security. Then there's MetaMask, which has just unveiled a new secret project. It's something they've been testing for a while, and it's going to be integrated into the MetaMask swap function. They're actually going to make something that looks a lot like Code Swap, a Swap X, an intent-based system. In fact, currently on a swap, when you make a trade, it's going to find the best exchange or make the trade, take you a 8/10 memory commission. So I wouldn't recommend swapping to MetaMask. But now they're going to change the principle. They didn't introduce a function, but a way of saying, I want to sell my cryptos at the best price, find me the best price, potentially sell them at an even better price than I expected. It's something that already exists. You can test it on CoSwap. It works very well. I use it a lot. CoSwap Unit Swap also clearly copy CoSwap with a Swap X and have adopted the same mechanism. So MetaMask, they're doing the same thing, and it looks like it's going to be open source, so other people will be able to use it. But of course, I imagine they'll keep the 0.8 fee they charge for each trade, because it's an extremely profitable business model for them. Huge. Imagine, you're taking almost 1% of every trade they've generated. In conclusion, this overview of crypto news highlighted various topics, from the success of spot Bitcoin ETFs to the challenges of Ethereum's latest update. The importance of thorough testing and security measures was emphasized. Additionally, opportunities for airdrop with alt layer were mentioned, along with risks associated with unlimited approvals and piracy incidents. Finally, MetaMask unveiled a new project, though concerns persist about its transaction fees. To stay informed about the latest developments, don't forget to subscribe and like the video.